My beloved child, I have seen you within the endless motion of your days, amid the noise of the world and the hurried rhythm of life. You keep moving, yet your soul longs to be still. Even when you say nothing, I hear the weary sighs of your heart. In the midst of all that you try to hold together, I see what you are slowly losing, the silence that allows you to hear my voice. Like morning dew resting on a petal, my presence still lingers, but you no longer notice it, dissolving under the heat of busyness. You think that if you just keep walking, if you achieve more, your heart will be full. Yet I see that the faster you run, the further you drift from the source of life itself. I did not create you to be a wheel that spins endlessly in a rut, but to live in the rhythm of heaven, where every breath is filled with grace and every moment holds purpose. When I formed you, I placed within you a space meant only for me, a small eternal flame, yearning for communion with its creator. Nothing on earth can fill that space, not success, not affection, not accomplishment. Only I, the source of all love, can bring your soul to rest. I know there are times you think I am distant. You pray, but hear only silence. You wait, yet see no sign. But my child, my love has never withdrawn. Silence is not absence. It is the language I speak when I want you to sense rather than merely hear. Like a father watching his child take the first steps, I am there patiently waiting as you move forward. Even when you fall, I do not turn away. When you are weak, I draw closer still. When you are broken, I bend down to lift you from the ashes. I do not come to you because I need you, but because I love you. My love does not rise from lack, but from fullness. Because I am abundant, I desire to give. Because I am whole, I desire to share. My love is not something you must earn. It is a gift that has belonged to you since the beginning of time. As Jeremiah 3:1-3 says, I have loved you with an everlasting love. It is because of that love that I call you back, not to restrain you, but to free you from the invisible chains that have drawn your soul away from me. Each time you pause in stillness, simply to breathe and remember me, the heavens fall silent to listen. Heaven leans close whenever you whisper my name, even faintly. No prayer of yours is meaningless. No tear falls beyond my reach. Every tear you wipe away in the dark I keep as a treasure. Each drop tells a story of faith, of waiting of your journey back toward the path once lost. Yet what grieves me most is not your stumble, but that you do not allow me to lift you. You try to heal yourself to stand on your own while my hand remains extended. I do not scold you for weakness. I long to walk with you in it. I do not seek perfection. I seek truth. You need not come to me polished and whole. Come with trembling hands, with a heart still in fragments. It is there that my grace will be revealed. There are nights when you lie awake, heart heavy as stone, and still I am there waiting for you to call. I whisper in the quiet, do you hear me? I am still here. Yet sometimes my voice is buried under the noise of anxiety, ambition, and the many goals you think will complete you. You chase many calls, but mine remains gentle, as the wind, never forcing, never loud. I do not shout to be noticed. I wait for you to recognize me amid the noise. And when you finally pause even for a moment, I will cause your heart to glow again like dawn after a long night. Deep within your soul still remembers me. Even if your mind forgets, your heart beats to heaven's rhythm. You once felt that closeness when you sang in praise, when you wept in prayer, or simply when you gazed at the sky and knew someone was listening. That memory is sacred. The world cannot erase it. I desire to rekindle that flame, not with fleeting emotion, but with a steadfast love sustained through communion. Pause, my child. Look around you, the flowers still bloom, the stars still shine, the waves still crash upon the shore. They are doing what I created them to do, to glorify me through their being. You too were created for this, to live in the rhythm of praise, not in the cycle of worry. When you live in that rhythm, peace will no longer be something you seek, it will become the air you breathe. Come near me. No rituals are needed, no eloquent words. Come as a child running to a father's embrace. Let me cover you in the warmth of my presence. Let me speak to the places you have hidden away. I will not condemn. I will not reproach. I will touch and heal. Your fears will fade when you see my eyes, eyes that never look away, never judge, only overflow with mercy. When you spend time with me, you lose nothing, you rediscover yourself. You return to the source. Everything you seek, peace, joy, direction, is contained within my presence. The world can only offer fleeting sensations, but I alone give eternal reality. You were not made to live apart from me. I am your breath, your pulse, your origin. When you drift from me, your soul withers like a branch cut from its root. But when you abide in me, you will bloom, even in the desert. I invite you to step back into the journey of belonging, not a path of duty, but a path of love. Let your heart rest in me. Let your mind find the stillness the world cannot give. Let me whisper again who you truly are, that you are not defined by what you do, but by the one to whom you belong. My love for you never runs dry. It is like an ocean embracing every shore. It does not change with seasons, nor fade with time. Wherever you go, however far you wander, I remain the place you can return to. Open your heart, and you will hear me clearer than ever. Not a voice of judgment, but of invitation. Not a voice of reproach, but of encouragement. Because I have never forgotten you, I call you again, not to remind you of your failures, but to awaken within you the memory of the love that once moved you to tears. Remember, I am not far away. I am right here, where all you need to say is, Abba, Father, and heaven will answer. My child, I have watched your journey through the crossroads of life. There were paths you took, out of fear roads you chose, out of loneliness and intersections where you stood unsure of which way to go. Yet even when you turned the wrong way, I walked beside you quietly, patiently waiting for the moment you would turn and see that I had never left. My love does not retreat when you wander, nor dim when you falter. It burns bright in the night like a lamp that no wind can extinguish. You once asked in your heart, why does God long for intimacy with me? Because I created you not only to worship, but to love and be loved. When I say I am the Lord your God, it is not merely a declaration of power, but a statement of relationship. Just as I called Abraham out of his homeland, not merely to go, but to walk with me, you too are called out of old habits, out of comfort zones, out of the noise that imprisons your soul, to rediscover my voice in the stillness of grace. I know there are moments you want to draw near but are held back by guilt. You think I am unworthy. But beloved, the moment you feel least worthy is the moment I desire you most. For I do not seek the perfect, I seek the broken who know they need saving. In your brokenness I plant the seed of healing. You need not come with hands full of achievements, just come with empty hands of faith. It is into those empty hands that my grace will pour in abundance. I do not see you through the lens of failure. I see you through the eyes of the Redeemer's love. Every scar upon your soul I turn into a testimony of restoration. Just as Joseph was betrayed and forgotten, yet later lifted up to save nations, so too will I use you in ways far beyond your imagination. No pain is wasted when placed in my hands. No past is meaningless when offered to me. I can take even the darkest chapters of your story and compose them into a symphony of grace. My child, I do not speak to frighten you, but to remind you. Remember, you were never created to live apart from me. As the olive tree needs oil to keep its flame burning, so your soul needs my presence to keep the fire of faith alive. Each day away from me dims that flame until only the ashes of memory remain. Yet when you return, I do not scold nor ask why you wandered. I simply breathe upon those ashes until they burn again. That is what I did for Peter after he denied me 3 times. I did not come to condemn him, but to restore him. And I will do the same for you. You are never alone. Even when everyone else forgets, I remember. Even when you feel abandoned, I remain near. There are days when no light seems to pierce the clouds of sorrow, but the moment you whisper, "My name," I make the darkness tremble. I am the one who neither sleeps nor slumbers. When you are weak, I do not turn away. I reach down to steady you. When you feel lost, I am not silent out of indifference. I am waiting for you to pause long enough to hear my voice in the gentle breeze. You do not need to become strong to draw near to me. Come in honesty. Come with tears if you must, for tears are a language heaven understands. I have seen David weep in the cave while he was hunted, and I turned those tears into psalms that echo through eternity. So too will I use your tears not to prove your pain, but to reveal the power of your faith. Do you think I love you because you served me? No. I loved you before you ever knew how to serve. My love is the source, not the reward. You cannot make me love you more, nor can you make me love you less. When you fail, my love does not diminish. When you succeed, it does not increase. It simply is as I am. I am unchanging. My love does not sway with your moods. It stands firm through every season. I see you trying to control your life, planning, organizing, striving to make everything secure, and yet your heart remains restless. My child, you are searching in the finite for what only the infinite can give. You are trying to fill a space that only I can occupy. When you anchor your hope in what is temporary, disappointment will follow. But when you place your trust in me, you will find stability amid the shifting tides. Let me be your harbor, not a shelter you visit only when storms come, but the home where you dwell in peace. I want you to relearn the art of listening. The world teaches you to react quickly, to seize every opportunity to fight for survival. But I teach you silence, the sacred stillness, where the soul learns to rest in trust. Just as Elijah did not find me in the wind or the earthquake, but in a gentle whisper, so too will you find me not in the noise, but in the quiet moments when your heart grows still. When you are silent, I will speak. And my words will not only tell you what to do, but remind you who you are. You are not an accident of creation. I thought of you before time began. When I said, "Let there be light," I already saw your face in my divine design. You were not born into chaos, you were chosen amid creation. Every cell in your being bears my imprint. You carry within you the breath of the Creator, and no power on earth can erase that mark. So when you feel worthless, remember, my hands shaped you with the tenderness of a father. I did not call you to be a slave to duty. I called you into living communion. I do not want you to know me only through the words of others, but to taste my goodness for yourself. Every moment you give me, you gain more than you lose. Every minute you choose to remain with me, you sow seeds for a harvest of peace. It need not be long or eloquent, only genuine. I measure the depth of the heart, not the length of the prayer. Look back. Each time you have drawn near to me, has your soul not felt lighter, your mind clearer, your heart calmer? That is not fleeting emotion, it is evidence of life itself. It is that very life I desire to sustain in you. But if you let your mind be filled with noise, that life will be choked. Let me be the rhythm of your day, the soft wind in your weariness, the dawn light that dispels your confusion. Do not wait for calm seas to seek me. Even in the storm I am there, inviting you to shelter within my peace. I do not promise a life without storms, but I promise the storm will not drown you. For you are held in my hands, the hands that stretched out the heavens, measured the oceans, and counted the stars, and those same hands hold you still. When you understand this, fear loses its power. When you believe this, faith becomes greater than doubt. And when you live this truth, the world will know that there is a living God within you. I speak these words not to add to your burden, but to lift it, not to make you feel guilty, but to make you feel loved. My love is not a reward for behavior. It is the foundation that allows you to stand firm in all things. Come, my child. Let my love awaken the deepest part of you, the part of your soul that already knows it belongs. My beloved, you have heard my voice calling, but let it go deeper beyond your ears into the very core of your being. My love is not merely comfort, it is a divine current awakening the quiet places within you. There are regions of your soul that have slept too long, buried under the dust of time, restrained by old wounds. Today I desire to awaken them. I want your heart to beat again with its first rhythm, when love was not an idea, but a living presence. I want your soul to remember that first moment when you knew me, when tears mingled with joy and fear, melted in the light of faith. Do not think that time has taken that away. My love cannot fade with the years, for it is not measured by days or hours, but by eternity itself. That eternity flows within your spiritual veins. When you draw near to me, what seemed dead will live again. Just as the prophet Ezekiel saw a valley of dry bones and heard my words, O dry bones, hear the word of the Lord, Ezekiel 3:7-4, and suddenly sinews formed, breath entered, and life returned. So too do I now speak to your soul, live again. Let the breath of my spirit fill every dry place, every shadowed corner, every wound still tender. I do not want you merely to survive. I want you to truly live in light, in joy, and in the fullness I have destined for you. Each time you turn back toward me, all of heaven rejoices. Angels sing, for an awakened soul is proof that love still triumphs. No journey is so lost that it cannot return. No heart is so hardened that it cannot soften before kindness. I do not ask you to accomplish something grand. I ask you to open your heart. Let me enter. Let my light pour through the doors once shut. Let my voice gently sweep away the dust of fear. Let my love soak in like rain seeping into parched ground. When you sit in silence, know that I am there. When you walk the crowded road, I am there. When you smile while your heart is still in ruins, I am there. There is no place where I am not present, yet only where you permit do I reveal myself in fullness. I do not force, for true love does not coerce. I knock patiently, tenderly, without ceasing. I will keep knocking until you hear that familiar rhythm amid the clamor. For that door, my child, can only be opened from within. I know there are memories that make you hesitant to open your heart. You fear that if you open it, the pain will rush back in. But my child, light does not wound. Light reveals so that healing may come. I do not come to stir up old injuries, but to draw out the arrow that lies buried deep. I do not merely wipe away tears. I turn tears into anointing oil. I do not only hush the pain, I cause it to bear fruit. From ashes I grow a garden of grace. From the ruins I rebuilt the temple of faith. Let me do this work for you. My child, my love does not only soothe, it transforms. It will not leave you as you are, it makes you into what I have ordained. When I touch you, the old things pass away. Bitterness dissolves, pride bows low, and peace floods in. I do not mend you by commands. I remake you by presence. When you allow me near, you will discover I am not distant, not severe, not indifferent. I am the compassionate Father, the faithful companion, the truest friend. When you fall, I steady you. When you grow weary, I carry you. When you are silent, I still speak in the gentle wind. You belong to me. Do not fear your weakness. Weakness is not the enemy of faith. It is the doorway through which faith is revealed. When you realize you cannot stand on your own, you will let me lift you. When you know you are not enough, you will let my grace fill the gaps. As Moses trembled and said, Lord, I am slow of speech, yet I chose him to speak before kings, so will you see that I often choose what seems weak to accomplish what is great, so that no one may boast except in my kindness. You need not wait until everything is perfect to come. Come now in the chaos, in the confusion, with questions unanswered. I do not need your answers. I am the answer. When you sit in the hush, simply whisper, Abba, Father, I am here, and I will come. I will surround you with a gentleness the world cannot comprehend. I will make your heart know that you are not alone, not meaningless, not forgotten. I will dissolve the fog of doubt that dims your spiritual sight. And then you will see I have been in the same place all along, arms outstretched, smiling as at the beginning. I speak this to you. There is no distance between father and child so great that love cannot bridge it. However far you have gone, a single step back flings heaven's gates wide. No rituals required, no ceremonies, only a true heart. For you are not seeking a religion, you are returning to a relationship. Religion may shape appearances, but only love imparts life. Let me teach you to live again, not as one who only performs, but as one who truly abides. My child, intimacy is not the privilege of a rare few. It is the birthright of all who believe. You were made to live in this light, to hear my voice in your very breath, to trace my footprints through your days. When you learn to see life by my light, you will discover meaning in all things. A flower in bloom, a falling raindrop, a bird's song will be enough to remind you that I am still speaking. And in that simplicity, your soul will find the peace the world cannot give. You ask, how can I keep this intimacy? The answer is not in striving, but in surrender. Do not try to control your relationship with me. Let it flow like a river's current. When water moves, it does not strain, it yields. So too yield to grace. Let my love lead you, correct you, shape you, as the potter forms the clay in his hands. When the clay is soft, a new form is born. When your heart is soft before me, your life will bear the image of heaven. If you understand my love, you will cease comparing, cease competing, cease chasing human approval. You will know you are already enough because you are loved. Then freedom will well up from your soul, not freedom to do as you please, but freedom to live the purpose I have set for you. True freedom is not the absence of bonds, but being bound by the right love. When you are held by my love, you are truly released from every chain of fear. I say it again, come. Come with simplicity, with childlike trust, with a heart ready to be loved and to love in return. Come and let me call you by name, not by the labels of men, but by the name I gave you before the world was formed. Let the echo of that name awaken within you, reminding you where you belong. For my love not only invites you, it will keep you. It will cover you, lead you, transform you, and send you. It will teach you that every small act, a smile, a word of forgiveness, a minute of listening, can become worship when you do it in the awareness that I am with you. My love does not touch only the soul. It saturates everything you do, making even the ordinary holy. Begin again. Begin not with a plan, but with a single minute of stillness. Let that minute become the gate that opens a new season in your life, a season of presence, a season of grace, a season of living love. I am here, not far away, but in the very beat of your heart. Let me become your breath, and you will never fear losing your way again. My beloved child, there are seasons when your soul feels like dry ground without rain, when prayers rise like ashes and fall again, when you search but cannot seem to find, when the flame that once burned bright now flickers faintly amid the dust. Do not fear these seasons, for even in the desert I am present. You think I have departed, yet truly I am leading you into the wilderness to strip away what is unnecessary and teach you that only I am the true source of living water. The desert is not punishment, it is a place of refinement. There, every outer layer is peeled away, every noise grows still, so that you may learn to hear heaven's voice again. Just as Israel wandered 40 years in the wilderness, not because I had forgotten them, but because I wanted them to learn to live, not by Egypt's strength, but by mine, the giver of manna from heaven and water from the rock, so I am teaching you that true blessing does not rest in what you hold, but in the one you trust. My child, I know you are weary. I see your trembling hands as you try to hold on to faith. I hear your whisper, I have believed. But why does my soul still feel dry? You are not wrong to feel this way. Even David, the man after my heart, once cried out, my soul thirsts for God, for the living God, as the deer pants for streams of water. Psalm 4:2-1. Thirst is not distance, it is life. Only the dead do not thirst. And when you thirst, I am preparing to pour new water into you, not the kind that merely soothes, but the kind that revives. I allow dryness not to punish, but to teach you the worth of grace. When your soul is drenched too often, you may forget that every drop is a gift. Yet in barrenness, every whisper of my presence becomes precious. Just as the soil yields fruit only after being broken, your spirit bears fruit through the stirring of the inner ground. Do not despise the wilderness, for it is there you will discover that I am not only the God of miracles, but the God of faithfulness, the one who sustains you day by day. You say, I pray, yet heaven is silent. But my child, my silence is not absence. I am teaching you to hear by faith, not by feeling. When you can no longer hear my voice, you will learn to remember what I have already spoken. When you can no longer sense my touch, you will learn to stand upon my promises instead of emotion. That is when faith matures, when it no longer depends on light, yet still stands in the dark. I see you bowing your head in exhaustion like a pilgrim who has walked too far and cannot see the destination. You think you are lost, but truly you are being led deeper. Some paths are only found by weary feet and a humble heart. When your strength is gone, I will carry you. When your definitions of success and blessing crumble, you will begin to see the true meaning of blessing, to dwell in my presence, even when you have nothing else. Do not be ashamed of dryness. It is not a sign of spiritual failure, but an invitation into deeper intimacy. When I bring you to the place where nothing is left to hold it, is because I want you to hold on to me. When I show you that everything else is dust, it is to lead you to the source of unending life. You think you are losing, but truly, you are being refined. With every layer that falls away, your soul draws nearer to truth. In this wilderness, I will teach you to drink not only from rivers, but from dew. You will learn to find me in the smallest things, a sliver of light at dusk, a quiet word of kindness, a song that rises in the night. You will see me not only in great miracles, but in the simplicity of ordinary grace. Then you will understand I never left you. I only wanted you to realize that I am everywhere. Remember Elijah, who hid in the cave out of fear. He looked for me in the wind, the earthquake, the fire, but I was not in them. Only when he heard the gentle whisper did he know it was me. So too, do not seek me in noise or spectacle. Find me in the soft breath and the quiet stillness when all else has ceased. There I whisper, I am here, my child. The desert will not last forever. Every season has its end, and I hold time in my hands. The day I declare, enough, the rain will fall. But before the rain, I want you to trust me, even when the sky shows no clouds. I want you to praise before you see, for that is faith. When you sing in the desert, heaven trembles. When you give thanks, though no fruit appears, the heavens open. Praise in abundance is natural. Praise in dryness is true faith. Do not forget, no drop of my grace ever falls in vain. Even in drought, I am watering your soul in secret. Roots of faith are growing underground, though you cannot see them, deep, strong, preparing to bear the fruit of the coming season. You are not failing, you are being formed. Every desert I allow has an exit, and that exit leads to the wellspring of life. Remember, dryness is not the end, it is an invitation. It is when I draw you away from noise, so you may hear heaven's heartbeat again. It is when you learn to love me, not for what I give, but for who I am. It is when your soul is reborn, not through feeling, but through faith. and when you emerge from this desert, you will not be the same. You will carry within you the sweetness of living water and become a stream for others who thirst. So, my child, stand firm. Do not rush to escape. Seek me within the dryness. Let emptiness become my dwelling place. Let silence become your new altar. Let every breath in the wilderness become a prayer. Then you will see flowers bloom in barren soil, life rises where hope once faded. For I am the one who turns wastelands into gardens in bloom, and you are the proof that no desert can stop me from making all things new. Beloved child, when your soul feels dry, do not condemn yourself, and do not conclude that I have withdrawn. Dryness is not evidence of distance, but the sign of preparation, a holy prelude to rebirth. Every garden must endure winter before it blooms, and every soul must learn stillness before it blossoms again. In that stillness, I am planting something new. You may not hear me, but I am speaking in depths beyond the reach of reason. There are moments you look around and see all that was once alive now withered. You read my word but feel no spark. You pray without tears, you sing without stirring. But my child, this is not the end, it is a summons into maturity. When love no longer depends on emotion, it becomes steadfast. When faith no longer requires motivation, it becomes rooted. When you remain faithful, even without feeling, that is when you have learned the true meaning of trust. Do not forget, it was in the wilderness that I met Moses. He was not in a palace or at a banquet table, but on dry, cracked ground among sheep and dust. There in that barren place the bush burned with fire, yet was not consumed. I chose the wilderness to reveal my glory, for there was nothing left there for man to depend on but me. You think you lack, but in truth you are standing in the most favorable position to witness a miracle. The ordinary bush became holy when my fire came upon it, and the hardened heart became tender when touched by my presence. You have seen me move in days of glory, but now I want you to learn to recognize me in days that seem dull. You once praised when the doors opened. Now I ask you to praise when they close. You once sang when healing came. Now I want you to sing while the wound still aches. For it is in adversity that you learn worship is not emotion, it is choice. When you still exalt my name amid the dryness, heaven knows your love has matured. I see how tired you are. You have tried to keep the flame of faith alive, but the winds of life keep blowing it out. You want to believe, yet old wounds whisper, don't hope anymore. You want to sing, but your throat feels too dry to utter a word. My child, let me be the breath in your unfinished song. Let me be the dim light at the end of your road. Even if all you can say is, Lord, I have no strength left, I will answer, you need none, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Do not seek the feeling of my presence, seek the one who is present. Feelings fade, but I remain the same. Do not confuse thirst with absence. The very thirst itself is proof that I am drawing you. You are not barren because I have left you. You are barren with what is old because I am about to pour out what is new. I am leading you from shallow waters to deeper springs where you no longer scoop with your hands but must dive in. And while you think you are losing, you are actually learning how to drink. My child, do you remember Jonah? When he was swallowed by the great fish in darkness, confinement and cold, I was there. There is no place my grace cannot reach. Even in the belly of the fish, his prayer was heard. So too, even in your deepest despair, I can turn it into a doorway to life. Do not mistake this darkness for a grave. It is a womb. And when the appointed time comes, I will speak, and the fish will release you onto the shore of a new beginning. I know there are days you no longer want to pray. You feel your words rise and vanish into the air unheard. But my beloved, not a single word is lost. Each one is inscribed upon the palm of my hand. Even when you only sigh, I understand the meaning your tongue cannot form. When you are silent, I still hear the beating of your heart. When you stop seeking, I continue seeking you. I have never ignored a single upward glance, nor forgotten a single tear. Pause and look again. Within your dryness you are being shaped. If I allowed your soul to always be full, you would never learn dependence. If I kept you constantly satisfied, you would never learn gratitude. If I let you remain strong, you would never know grace. Dryness is the school of trust, and you are learning the lesson every chosen one must face. Abraham had to wait, Job had to endure, David had to hide, and even my son once cried, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Not to prove abandonment, but to prove that darkness cannot extinguish light. So do not fear this darkness. It does not come to swallow you, but to help you find the light. Let me teach you to see with eyes of faith. Do not seek signs, seek my voice. Do not demand instant miracles. Trust the quiet movement of my hand. There are times I do not change your circumstance because I am changing you. And when you are changed, circumstances lose their power. When you walk through barren lands, remember, I go before you. When you think you walk alone, look down. The footprints in the sand are not just yours, but mine. The stretches where there is only one set of prints are not when I left you, but when I carried you. Every step you take is part of my plan. Not a single gust of wind blows without my knowing, nor a single tear falls unnoticed. You will see when this season passes, your spirit will possess a strength it never had before. Your prayers will go deeper. Your faith will stand firmer. Your awareness of me will stretch wider. You will no longer ask, "Where are you?" but proclaim you are here. And this very desert will become your testimony to strengthen others. For I waste no pain. All is woven into the glorious tapestry of grace. Be steadfast in the stillness. Let the wind of my spirit sweep through the desert of your heart. Let the dust of doubt be carried away, revealing the fertile ground of faith. The rain will come, you will hear the waters flowing within, and your soul will bloom again. Then you will understand no dryness is in vain, for it is in the place that seemed dead that I bring forth life. My beloved child, the time has come for water to begin seeping from the rock, for the wind of a new season to carry the scent of life. You may not see it yet, but in every tear that fell, in every prayer that seemed to fade, I have been planting seeds for the coming rain. Every wilderness has its end, and every soul that waits will be rewarded. When I speak live again, the parched places within you begin to tremble. Roots of faith once thought dead will push deep again, seeking the hidden spring rising from the soil of grace. You think you have reached the end, but you are standing at the threshold of a new season. Just as Israel stood at the Jordan after 40 years of wilderness, weak, weary, thinking all was spent, one more step brought them into promise. I want you to understand, before abundance, I lead my people through barrenness, so their hearts no longer cling to manna, but trust the giver of manna. You are not called to live by comfort, but by communion, by the kind of fellowship that keeps your soul alive even in desolation. I see your heart softening. The thirst that once tormented you has become a holy longing. You no longer pray out of fear of losing, but out of desire to draw near. You no longer chase miracles, but seek the miracle worker himself. That is the sign that the wilderness has fulfilled its purpose. It did not come to destroy, but to refine. It did not come to extinguish faith, but to purify it. You have passed through fire, and now you shine like refined gold. When the rain of grace begins to fall, do not expect it to come like a storm, but like the morning dew. I often work quietly, yet my results echo through eternity. You will recognize me not in the grand, but in the gentle, in a whisper at dawn, in a thought suddenly illuminated in peace that slips into your weariness. These are signs that I am watering your soul, not with floods that overwhelm, but with a steady stream that endures. Torrents may erode, but dew sustains. I do not want you merely satisfied for a moment. I want you to live continually in the flow of my presence. Do you remember what I spoke through Isaiah? I will make the desert a pool of water, and the dry land a spring. That is what is happening within you now. From the place once filled only with dust and stone, a clear stream has begun to flow. It will not only water you, it will overflow and touch other withering souls. You are not called to keep the water for yourself. You were made to be a channel. When you allow me to flow through you, you will never run dry. When you share my words, you yourself are refreshed. My child, those who pass through the desert carry a different fragrance. They are no longer proud, for they have learned the taste of hunger and thirst. They are no longer impulsive, for they have learned to wait. They no longer chase blinding light, for they have discovered the beauty of a small lamp at night. So it is with you. The drought has made you truer, deeper, more compassionate. Now when you speak of grace, you do not speak theory, you speak from experience. When you pray for others, you pray with a heart that has been broken. That is what gives your words power to move souls. You once thought dryness was a sign that I was no longer present, but now you understand I was never nearer to you than in that time. When you could not hear, I was speaking in the language of silence. When you could not feel, I was touching depths beyond the reach of emotion. When you thought yourself abandoned, I stood beside you, keeping watch over your soul in the dark. You walked through the night, but not alone. I was the pillar of fire that night, leading you through without consuming you. Now open your heart to receive the freshness I give. Let the river of heaven wash away the dust of fear and rinse the salty crust of bitterness. Let your soul bathe in the spring of grace. When you breathe, breathe in my presence. When you speak, let gratitude color your voice. When you live, live as one redeemed from the drought. You are no longer a victim of the wilderness. You are a witness to resurrection. My child, I have heard your cry in the night, and I answer in the morning. The light does not burst all at once. It seeps in like dawn, quietly chasing away the chill. You will see things grow clear. What once frightened you becomes a lesson. What once made you weep becomes a testimony. You will realize that nothing from that dry season was wasted. Every thread I have woven into the foundation of the blessing to come. And when you look back, you will smile, not because you escaped, but because you were transformed. Your soul will no longer seek rain merely to quench your thirst, but to sustain others. You will become a spring in a thirsty land, a water bearer for those still searching for the way. You will understand that even in your dryness, I planted within you the power to refresh many. Beloved child, the dry season has passed. Now comes the season of sprouting. Rise, shake the desert dust from your garments, and see the ground has softened, the waters return, the heavens open. I am giving you new breath, new eyes, and a new heart. From now on, you will not merely live, you will live in abundance. You will not only believe, you will understand. You will not only hear, you will see. And as you walk, every step will leave the imprint of living water. My child, night is settling around you, and the silence feels heavy. You hear time moving slowly, as if each moment carries an unanswered question. You look around and see only darkness while the sky is quiet. You pray, but your words dissolve into the void. You wait, yet see no sign that I am coming. At that moment you ask, do you still hear me? Have you forgotten my name among so many prayers? Know this, within the night I am still speaking. Silence is not proof of absence. It is the language of maturity. When you no longer hear me, it is because I am teaching you to recognize me in what is wordless. Like a seed buried in dark soil, unseen by light, life is stirring within. I am working for you that way. Right in the middle of the darkness, I am writing what you cannot yet comprehend. Darkness is not the enemy of light. It is the backdrop that makes light more radiant. It is in the night that the stars appear. It is in the night that heaven's calling rings clear. I do not fear the dark, for I am the one who set its boundaries. When I said, let there be light, I did not annihilate. The night, I assigned it limits. Darkness may cover, but it cannot claim. It may linger, but it cannot last. And if you will be still, you will hear my voice like a gentle wind in the night. Do not fear, for I am here. You thought silence meant distance, but it is the setting for deeper communion. When every other sound fades, your soul is finally quiet enough to hear my heartbeat. I know you are not used to this silence. You want clear answers, obvious signs, solid certainties. But my child, I am not a formula to be solved. I am the one to be trusted. True faith does not demand proof. It simply knows that I am enough. The quiet night is not an empty void. It is the soil where I sow. In stillness I plant what will blossom in its appointed season. Yet every seed needs time to split its shell. The waiting you endure is the labor pangs of the soul. I am not delaying, I am preparing. When you cannot see me at work, it is because I am working deeper, not outwardly, but within. Lift your eyes to the sky as Abraham once did. Standing beneath the vast night, with nothing but the deep heavens above, I said to him, "Count the stars if you can." And that very night I made a covenant, not at noon's brightness, but in the hush of darkness. So too I am making a covenant with you in your night. When all around you is silent, I say what is most important: I am still your God. Do not treat the night as an enemy. Receive it as an invitation. Night is the space where I etch faith deep. When you can no longer see me, you will learn to trust that I still hold you. When you can no longer hear my voice, you will remember what I have said. When you can no longer feel, you will lean on my unchanging nature. You do not need to see the path if you know who leads you. You do not need to grasp the reason if you trust the author. My child, I know you are waiting. You wait for light, for an answer, for a sign, for change. But hear this: faith does not grow in the moment of receiving, but in the season of waiting. Waiting is not punishment, it is the training of the soul. It teaches patience, humbles pride, and separates the true from the counterfeit. While you wait, I am clearing the way. While you weep, I am writing the next chapter. While you think nothing is happening, I am raising up an entirely new season. Do you see it now, my child? Mary carried the word within her for 9 months, with nothing to hold on to but a promise. No shining light, no angel returning, no confirming sign, only silence and trust. Yet in that silence, the word became flesh. So it is with you. You are carrying what I have planted within, and it will take form in its appointed time. This silence is not abandonment, it is gestation. When my kairos moment comes, what I have spoken will rise in power. I do not need you to understand everything, I only need you to remain. Do not flee the night, for I am within it. I am using the darkness to hide you from the storms, the quiet to heal your deepest places. Every minute you remain faithful in stillness becomes a stone in the foundation of enduring faith. Every breath you take in trust becomes a song echoing in heaven. Heaven does not forget those who know how to wait. When you feel alone, remember that the strongest of my servants once sat where you sit. Job sat in ashes and heard nothing for days. Elijah hid in a cave asking for death. Paul languished in prison, uncertain of tomorrow. Yet it was in their darkness that they were transformed. They did not emerge the same. Job came to see me with his own eyes. Elijah was sent back renewed on purpose. Paul wrote letters that would glorify my name for generations. And you too this night will not destroy you, it will shape you. Therefore do not pound on heaven's doors in despair. Sit still and hear me in the breath. Let this night become a meeting place, not a hiding place. While the world sleeps, I will come and speak in a language only the awakened soul can hear. My voice in the night is never loud. It falls like dew on the grass, like the soft rhythm of a mother's heart. If you listen deeply enough, you will know I was never silent. The night is no longer frightening when you know who dwells within it. Stillness is no longer empty when you recognize that I am in the midst of it. And once you learn to hear my whisper in the dark, You will never fear the night again, for you will have discovered that the light was never outside you. It was within. My beloved child, do not rush to conclude that silence means distance. I do not remain quiet to frighten you, but to make you hear. There are truths that can only be understood when every other sound fades, when only the space between you and me remains. In daylight, your mind is filled with tasks, with people, with dreams. But in the still night, I can speak without words, touch without form. My silence is not emptiness. It is the language of depth, where your soul learns to discern between the noise of the world and the voice from heaven. Let this night be the classroom of faith. When no sign appears, remember the promise. When no voice is heard, hold fast to my nature. Learn to see me not with eyes, but with trust. True faith is not born in light. It is forged in darkness. Like a sailor who learns navigation only when the shore disappears, you will learn to follow the star of my word when all else is dark. My child, it is in these silent hours that I carve faith into your soul as a craftsman engraves his mark upon stone. You have asked many times, why don't you speak? But my child, I have never ceased speaking. I am simply speaking differently. Not through thunder, not through fire, but through the constancy of my presence. I speak through small events, through unexpected peace, in a storm, through a gentle thought that visits in the night, through a memory that brings a smile through tears. That is me. But to hear me, you must be still. For my voice does not compete with noise. It comes only to the heart that listens. Do you remember Elijah? He waited for me in the wind, in the quake, in the fire, but I was in none of them. Then he heard a gentle whisper, and he knew it was I. So it is with you. I am not in the noise you call holy, but in the simplicity of breath, in the quiet of morning, in the peace that surpasses understanding. If you wish to hear me, do not run after the extraordinary. Become still. When your soul quiets, you will realize I was never far away. Silence does not kill faith, it refines it. Like gold in the furnace, your belief is being purified from the dross of emotion. I am taking away your need to know so you can learn to trust. For knowledge cannot sustain you when the storm rages. Only faith can. There are things I do not explain, not because I withhold, but because you are not yet ready to bear their weight. As a father does not reveal every plan to his child, I am protecting you from burdens beyond your strength. My silence is mercy. Remember, my silence will not last forever. It is merely the pause in the symphony of grace. A melody cannot exist without rests, for the rests give it depth. I am teaching you when to speak, when to wait, when to stand, and when to rest. Sometimes the holiest thing you can do is nothing at all, just be still. In that stillness, your soul resets, your heart realigns, and my light begins to shine from within. See this quiet night not as abandonment, but as an encounter. When you sit alone, I sit beside you. When your breathing slows, mine joins yours. When your eyes close, my hand rests on your brow. You think you are praying, but in truth I am praying within you. The Spirit intercedes with groans too deep for words. Even when you have no language left, I understand. When your strength is gone, I carry your weakness and turn it into a prayer that rises to the throne of grace. My child, there will be moments when your heart feels like a still sea, no waves, no motion. You will fear that stillness, thinking yourself lifeless. But that is when I am calming the winds, so you may rest. The sea cannot mirror the sky while it is stirred by storms. Neither can your soul reflect my glory until it is still. Let this quiet night polish you into a clear mirror, so that when light returns, it not only surrounds you, it shines through you. I do not need you to speak much, only to be present. Do not strive to fill the silence. Your presence is enough for my delight. I need no eloquence, no ritual, only an honest heart. Come to me in quietness, and you will discover a closeness deeper than words. In a world addicted to noise, your silence is a holy rebellion. It declares that you trust me enough not to hurry. I know, my child, that waiting is never easy. Yet true faith is not born in motion, but in stillness. When you stand unmoved, yet still believe. When you have not yet seen, but still give praise. When you are weary, yet cling to my word. That is when heaven calls your name, chosen. Do not let delay breed doubt. None of my silences are empty. Every quiet carries the seed of restoration. And then when the appointed time comes, my voice will resound again. It will no longer be a gentle whisper, but a flood of grace rushing in. You will understand that these quiet days were not pauses of loss, but the prelude to a grand symphony of life. You will see why I waited, why I was silent, why I allowed the night to linger, so that when dawn arrived, you could recognize the beauty of light without anyone having to tell you. Rest now and let this night no longer be your enemy, but your companion, guiding you into deeper intimacy with me. When you sit in silence and still believe, that is when you have truly heard the call within the night, not a sound that strikes the ear, but a voice that stirs the soul. I am here. My beloved, the night does not last forever. Every shadow has its boundary, and I am the one who set it. When you feel wrapped in stillness, dawn has already begun to break, even if your eyes cannot yet see it. Light never arrives with noise. It comes softly like breath. It touches the soul before it touches the sight. And in the very moment you think all is lost, I am doing something new, something that could only be formed in the dark. Look again, my child, the night did not come to destroy you, but to define you. When every noise fades, only true sound remains. When every light dims, the real flame is seen. You think yourself isolated, but I have only set you apart from the world's noise so that you might hear heaven's rhythm again. There are treasures found only in the night: patience, humility, unshakable faith. Had you never walked through darkness, you would never know how precious the light truly is. I let Joseph sleep in prison so his dreams could be refined into calling. I allowed Job to lose all so he could understand what faith really means. I permitted Paul to sit in darkness so his words could become light to the nations. Darkness is never the end, it is the womb of glory. And now your night carries the same purpose. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. When you hear nothing, I am rewriting your story in silence. Every pause I allow is the rest between movements, so that when the music rises again, it carries new power. You ask, Lord, why have you left me here so long? And I answer, because I am shaping you into my likeness. The night endures not because I am slow, but because I am perfecting my work for you, like a refiner who does not draw the gold from the fire until he sees his reflection in it. I will not stop until my image shines through you. When you allow me to refine you through the darkness, you will emerge brighter, steadier, and more radiant than before. Dawn cannot come without the night. Resurrection cannot exist without the cross. Darkness is only a temporary veil, and when it lifts, the light will blaze more gloriously than ever. You thought the night was your foe, but it is your faithful companion leading you through transformation. In the night, the seed of faith is planted. In the night, the promise takes root. In the night, you learn to love me not for my blessings, but for who I am. Lift up your eyes. The night sky is still full of stars, though you may not yet count them. Each star is a promise I have placed over your life, shining even behind clouds. Silence is not proof that I have stepped away. It is how I draw you near. When I am silent, I am deepening communion. When I delay, I am building faith. When I hide, I am teaching you to find me everywhere. When the true dawn comes, you will see that the night was not wasted. It did not disorient you. It taught you who your true compass is. It did not weaken you. It made you strong. It did not make you afraid. It taught you that light never truly disappears. It only hides so that you may learn to trust without seeing. And when the light floods in, every tear that once fell will make sense. You will know why I made you wait. For while you waited, I reshaped you. When you asked for light, I gave you new eyes. When you cried for my presence, I gave you a heart that carries my presence wherever you go. The dawn will not only shine around you, it will rise within you, transforming you into light for others still walking through their night. And when that light comes, do not forget the night. Do not despise the quiet hours that nourished your soul. They taught you to listen, to trust, to live by grace. When you step forward, carry the memory of the night as your testimony. Tell the world that there is a God who still speaks through silence, who still works in hiddenness, who still loves, even when you feel nothing at all. The darkness has passed and dawn has come. Open your heart to the new light of grace. Let it pour into every corner, dispelling fear. Let it burn away every remnant of doubt and reveal the path I have prepared. From now on, you will no longer fear the night, for you have learned that the light never left. It was waiting for you to open your eyes. Carry the peace you learned in waiting, and let it flow wherever you go. You are not merely one rescued from darkness. You are a bearer of light within it. Shine not by your own strength, but by the flame I kindled in you through the long night. And as you do, the world will know night never has the final word, for my light has already won. My beloved child, I have seen you walk through the night. I have heard the quiet sobs you tried to hide, and I have gathered every tear in my hands. Now I speak to you, the season of restoration has come. The ground that once cracked beneath your feet will bloom again. What was buried will rise, and your soul, once exhausted by the fire of trial, will be renewed by the breath of heaven. Restoration is not merely the return of what was lost. It is the making of all things better, deeper, and stronger. I do not simply mend what was broken. I create something new from the ashes. As the potter does not glue together a shattered vessel but reshapes the clay into a more beautiful form, so I am doing with you. My hands do not only lift you up, they are redefining your being to reflect my glory. You once asked, why did I have to lose so much? And now I answer, because I did not want you merely restored, I wanted you reborn. Look at the cracks in your life. They are no longer marks of failure, but gateways for my light to enter. Every place that broke will now become the birthplace of a miracle. When you thought the story had ended, I began to write a new chapter. When you believed the door was closed forever, I opened a path unseen by any eye. You are not defined by your past. You are recreated by grace. I have used loss to teach you the worth of what remains, pain to awaken compassion, and trial to forge spiritual strength. Let me remind you of Joseph, the one sold, imprisoned, and forgotten. Yet in that darkness I placed the key to his destiny. I turned a dream that seemed dead into a plan that saved nations. Joseph was not only restored in position, but transformed in spirit. He did not seek vengeance. He said, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good. So shall it be with you. You will look back on all your pain and see that my hand was weaving, arranging, guiding you toward glory. Restoration does not come through striving, but through surrender. You do not need to piece everything back together. Let me do it. Simply open your heart and allow me to touch it. I will heal wounds you've forgotten, the deep cuts you've learned to live with, but that never healed. I will reach into the places you've hidden from everyone, not to cause more pain, but to free you from it. True healing does not come through avoidance, but through encounter. Remember, no one walks out of the fire unchanged. Every metal that passes through flame shines brighter, becomes stronger, and gains worth. So it is with you. What the fire could not consume, it was purified. What was lost I will replace with what is lasting. You once trembled in pain, but now you will stand in wisdom. You once prayed to escape. Now you will give thanks for transformation. For I did not merely rescue you from the fire, I made you shine within it. I am restoring your soul, not just with comfort, but with purpose. True restoration is not returning to what was, but rising to what is greater. You will see that everything I permitted serves my divine design. When I bent you, it was to reshape you. When I stripped away, it was to replant. When I emptied you, it was to fill you anew. No step was wasted, no day was lost. You ask, when will this end? And I answer, when my work for you is complete. I am never rushed, for I work in wholeness. Trust that no delay lies outside my plan. What you call late is only on time in the calendar of heaven. When you stop comparing your path to others, you will see your time was never missed. Your season has not come early nor late. It arrives precisely when your soul is ready to bear fruit. Do not simply ask me to return what was lost. I do not add as man adds. I multiply as heaven multiplies. I will not merely restore what was old, but give you far more. Yet before I let the flowers bloom, I must ensure your roots are deep enough to hold them. Do not rush. Fruit that ripens too soon will fall. I am strengthening your roots so that when the harvest comes, you will not only receive, but also endure. Transformation does not happen in a single moment, but through a series of small choices. Each time you choose faith over fear, you are being transformed. Each time you forgive instead of resent, you are renewed. Each time you pray instead of complain, you are being restored. Change is not a flash of miracle, it is the daily rhythm of grace. And in that process, I am always with you, even when you do not see, hear, or understand. My precious one, rise from the ashes. Let me clothe you in the garments of glory. Let your old scars become emblems of victory. Let your soul sing again the song of the redeemed. You are no longer in the season of mourning. You are stepping into the season of laughter. You no longer need to search for me in desperation, for I am already within you. Let your heart rest in peace, for what I have begun I will bring to completion. My restoration does not stop on the surface, it reaches into the depths. I am not merely sweeping away the fragments of your life. I am recreating you from the roots, from the unseen places. I am transforming how you see, how you think, how you feel about yourself. Because true restoration is not returning as before, but becoming brand new. You were not created to live in the memory of what was lost, but to step into the reality overflowing with my glory. I know there are still parts of you that tremble in fear. There are wounds you have covered with silence, believing that was enough. But my child, I do not only wish to heal the wound, I desire to heal the memory. I want to touch the deepest places where fear began, where doubt took root. I want to uproot every thought that has imprisoned you in guilt, shame, and regret. True transformation begins when your mind is renewed. For if your mind remains old, you cannot live in what is new. So my child, do not cling to the old patterns of thought. They are the shed skin of a past season. If you hold on to them, you cannot bloom in this one. I am giving you a new mind, the mind of the kingdom, no longer one of fear, but of power. No longer one seeking approval, but one who knows they are chosen. No longer one bound by failure, but one set free by grace. You have nothing left to prove, for your worth was already sealed by the blood. My beloved child, I want you to understand that transformation is not merely the changing of behavior, it is the renewing of your very nature. When you are in me, you do not just live better, you become someone new. You no longer think like a servant, but like an heir. You no longer pray as a stranger, but as one who belongs in the house. You no longer search the world for what I have already placed within you. Transformation begins the moment you stop striving to become someone and start living as the one I intended from the beginning. There is a battle within your mind, a clash between the voice of truth and the echo of the past. The past whispers, you have failed, but my truth declares, you have been redeemed. The past says you were abandoned, but I say I chose you before you knew me. The past insists no one needs you, but I proclaim you are part of my eternal plan. You must decide which voice to believe. Each time you listen to the wrong one, you lose strength. But when you stand firm in truth, you step into freedom. I have spoken. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may discern what is the good, pleasing, and perfect will of God. My child, my will cannot be grasped with an old mind. It can only be revealed through surrender. When you cease leaning on your own understanding, I will unveil paths you never knew existed. Transformation requires surrender, not because I seek to control you, but because I long to free you from what binds you. You once lived driven by fear. Now I want you to walk by faith. You once acted to be accepted. Now act because you know you are loved. You once compared, envied, and worried. Now see yourself through my eyes, eyes that measure worth not by performance but by belonging. You are the one whose name I have engraved, whose form I have shaped, whom I call by name. When you realize this, you will no longer live as a wanderer, but as one who has been sent. Do not be surprised when I allow circumstances that force you to face yourself. These are not trials to break you, but invitations to recognize that you are no longer who you once were. When you forgive those who hurt you, you prove that grace within you is stronger than the wound. When you love in the face of rejection, you prove that light within you is greater than surrounding darkness. When you trust me before you see results, you prove that your mind has been transformed. I do not want you merely to live again. I want you to live differently. Not just to walk, but to walk in power. Not just to speak of faith, but to become a living testimony of it. You are no longer the product of circumstance, you are evidence of grace. I want you to reflect my glory in the smallest acts, in how you treat others, in how you choose truth over fear, in how you love, even when love is not returned. True transformation begins within, but it never stays hidden. It flows outward like a river of living water. My child, I am remaking your heart and mind. I am replacing old reactions with new wisdom. I am removing the habit of fear and planting the reflex of faith. I am transforming how you see your challenges, no longer as burdens but as invitations. For only in adversity does your inner glory reveal itself. You will stop asking, "Why is this happening?" and start asking, "Lord, what are you teaching me through this?" And that is the moment you will know that transformation has truly begun. My beloved, open your heart and let me continue my work within. Do not fear when I overturn what you've grown used to. Do not be confused when I redirect your path. I am not disorienting you, I am aligning you. Trust that every step has meaning. Transformation is rarely comfortable, but it always yields peace. When you surrender into my hands, your soul will find rest, for the true weight has already been carried by me. And then, my child, when you look in the mirror, you will realize the face looking back is no longer the same. The eyes shine clearer, deeper, and calmer. The voice sounds gentler yet stronger. The heart that once broke now beats in the rhythm of heaven. That is you, the one I shaped through fire, through tears, through silence. That is you, the one transformed by my hands, whom I will use to shine for an entire generation. Grace was never meant to keep you safe within comfort. It was meant to send you where I choose. Every healing leads to a mission. Every transformation opens a commission. Now you are no longer seeking a place to belong. You are one who has been sent. You are not only saved, you are chosen. Not to hide your light, but to carry it into places still shadowed by night. I have prepared you for this moment, not with instant glory, but with silent training. Every tear, every breaking, every unanswered night has been part of your divine formation. I did not train you in a palace, but in hidden places. No one saw, but I did. No one praised, but heaven recorded it. Now as you step forward, you do not walk as one unproven, but as one approved by my hand. I call you to be a voice to your generation. You need not shout, for true power is not in volume but in anointing. When you speak from a place once broken, your words will carry the weight of truth. When you share from a place once tear-stained, your voice will become oil for weary souls. When you pray from a place once wounded, your prayer will pierce the heavens and reach my throne. That is the power of the restored. They do not just know grace, they carry it in every breath. Do not think your mission must be grand. I do not ask for greatness, I ask for faithfulness. Sometimes a timely embrace, a whispered prayer, or a simple act of kindness can move heaven itself. For in my kingdom, nothing done in love is ever small. Do not seek a stage, for I have not called you to perform. I have called you to bear witness. Live so that others may see me through you. Remember David, the shepherd boy I chose from the fields. When I anointed him, the throne was still far away, yet the power was already upon him. So it is with you. Even if you do not yet see the throne, grace already surrounds you. Do not fear slow steps, for the steps I guide are always secure. I am opening doors before you that no one can close. But before you walk through them, remember this power is not for ruling, it is for serving. My beloved child, do not forget your calling is not a burden, but a reward. It is the way I invite you to share in the work of heaven. When you pray, you are partnering with me. When you love, you are carrying my presence into the world. When you forgive, you are opening a path for others to draw near to me. Every small act you do echoes through eternity. Do not underestimate your role in this sacred symphony. You do not need to stand out, you only need to obey. I know there will be times you feel unworthy. You will think, I am only ordinary. How can I carry your glory? But my child, it is your humility that drew me to you. I do not search for the perfect, I search for the willing. I do not choose the mighty, I choose those who depend on me. I do not look for unblemished hands, I choose the trembling hands that still rise in faith. When you whisper, yes, Lord, heaven moves. Now the transformation within you will begin to flow outward like living water. Wherever you go, the atmosphere will shift, not because you are eloquent, but because I am within you. You will bring peace where there is chaos, hope where there is despair, and light where there is darkness. When you pray for others, you do not pray alone. Heaven joins your intercession. When you do good in secret, I stand beside you, blessing the work of your hands. Do not be surprised if I lead you to unfamiliar places, or call you to tasks beyond your strength. It is in that beyond that my grace is revealed. Do not fear the wide doors, I will open them. Do not fear the narrow paths, I will go before you. And do not fear the pauses between seasons, for even when you are still, I am working. You are not called to succeed by the world's measure, but to be faithful by the kingdom's. Never forget I have not only given you a mission, but also the power to fulfill it. That power is quiet, yet enduring, unseen, yet unstoppable. It does not come through striving, but through union with me. When you dwell in me, your words will carry life. When you ask, heaven will respond. When you walk, darkness will retreat. For your mission is not what you do for me, it is what I do through you. You are not walking alone. I go before you as a pillar of fire by night, and behind you as a wall of flame. I am within you as breath around you, as wind, and upon you as light. Every step you take is the step of one who is sent anointed and covered by grace. Carry your story not as a wound, but as a testimony. Tell the world that darkness could not overcome the light, that brokenness did not end the story, but became the birthplace of miracles. Proclaim that I am still writing not only in Scripture, but in your very life. Remember, I do not ask you to run ahead, but to walk with me. Not to carry my weight, but to share my joy. Keep your rhythm in step with mine, and you will find that your work is not duty, but delight. Go now, my child, for your season has come, and heaven's commission has been spoken over you. My beloved, now that you have walked through restoration and transformation, I desire to draw you into something deeper communion with me. For it is in this union that you will discover the true source of power, peace, and purpose. Healing, restoration, and mission are the fruits, but the root is my presence within you. I do not want you to merely know about me. I want you to abide in me, to breathe in me, to move in me, until every heartbeat of yours echoes the rhythm of heaven. Understand this, my child. True power is not born of effort, but of nearness. When you dwell close to me, heavenly life begins to flow through you quietly, steadily, and irresistibly. Like a branch joined to the vine, it need not strain to bear fruit, for the sap already flows within it. So it is with you. If you remain in me, love, peace, patience, kindness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control will bloom naturally. These are not moral achievements, they are the fragrance of communion. Many seek power, but few seek me. They long for miracles without covenant, for blessing without presence. But my child, do not follow that path, for when you have me, you have everything. And if you have everything but lack me, you have nothing. Intimacy with me is the true key that unlocks wonders. Moses was not mighty because he shouted, but because he spoke with me as a friend. His authority did not come from his staff, but from our communion. So too your power will not flow from strength of flesh, but from union with my spirit. Do you remember what I said? I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me, and I in him, will bear much fruit. This is not a metaphor, it is a law of the Spirit. When you are in me, all that I have becomes yours. When I am in you, all that you do carries the breath of heaven, not because you are flawless, but because I am the perfection dwelling within you. You will see what once exhausted you will become effortless. What once frightened you will become an opportunity for my glory. Do not think communion happens only in prayer or worship. True communion is a continual way of being. It is not bound by time or place. You can meet me while working, cooking, walking, or gazing at the sky. Every moment can become an altar if your heart is aware of me. Every breath can be prayer if you remember whose breath fills your lungs. Imagine a child holding its father's hand. It does not need to know the path, nor fear the fall, nor worry about tomorrow. It only needs to know the hand has not let go. So it is with you. Communion is not about understanding every detail of my plan, but trusting that my hand will never leave yours. When you pass through waters, I am with you. When you walk through fire, it will not consume you. My presence is your shield, your strength, your lamp. Many pursue power for glory, but I teach you power for service. The authority of heaven does not wear a crown. It wears a towel around the waist of a servant. When I washed my disciples' feet, I did not lose authority. I revealed its truest form. For real power does not dominate, it uplifts. It does not control, it heals. It does not demand, it gives. And if you truly abide in me, you will use power not to prove but to love. When you dwell in me, a divine harmony begins. Your thoughts merge with mine. Your heartbeat aligns with heaven's rhythm. You no longer strive to do right, for righteousness becomes your nature. You will sense when to speak and when to be still, when to wait and when to move. Not because someone dictates each step, but because my spirit within you leads the way. He does not just show the path, he is the path. And when you live in this communion, what I desire will naturally become what you long for. Remember, this communion is what I have desired from the beginning. When I created Adam and Eve, I did not make them to serve, but to walk with me. I walked with them in the garden not to command, but to share friendship. Sin broke that fellowship, but through my Son, the Christ, I reopened the way. Now you no longer need to stand afar, for the veil has been torn. You can come boldly before the throne of grace and speak to me as a child speaks to their father. My beloved child, I do not seek rituals, I seek the heart. I do not ask you to be perfect in words, only honest in my presence. When you are with me, You do not need to do anything to impress. I know you. I understand you. I love you. Every part, every fear, every scar. True communion does not require many words. It simply requires presence. Sometimes you need only sit still and let your soul rest in my arms. That is the deepest worship, not through sound, but through surrender. When you abide in me like this, you will discover a wonder. Peace is no longer something to chase, but something that flows naturally. Joy is no longer a passing feeling, but the atmosphere of your soul. Strength is no longer strain, but a divine current that never stops. You will no longer try to hold on to faith, for faith will become your rhythm of life. You will no longer fear losing peace, for peace will have become the environment you live in. This is what I desire, a life in step with heaven. No longer a temporary cycle of asking and receiving, but a sacred friendship where you and I become one. Then you will understand why I said, the kingdom of God is within you. You need not search far to find me, for I am in you, and when you recognize this, you touch the greatest power in the universe. My child, when your soul learns to dwell in me, you will begin to sense a new flow, the flow of heavenly power. It is not loud or showy like earthly fire, yet it is strong, pure, and unstoppable. This power does not come merely to perform miracles. It transforms everything you touch. When I dwell in you, every word you speak, every task you do, every step you take carries the fragrance of my kingdom. Not because you try to make an impact, but because you have become the place where I appear. My power is not like the world's power. The world seeks to dominate. I reveal power through humility. The world seeks to control. I reveal power through surrender. When my son knelt to wash his disciples' feet, power was not diminished, it was made complete. So too, when you choose love in the face of hatred, forgiveness, in the face of injustice, gentleness, in the midst of shouting, then my power flows most mightily. For true power does not force others to bow, it softens their hearts. Understand this, when I abide in you, you become an instrument of the kingdom. No instrument shines by itself. Light comes from the source within it. In the same way, you do not need to put on a display. You need only let me shine through. The more transparent you are, the brighter you become. The more surrendered you are, the stronger you are. When you stop trying to get it right and start being in the right place, power will flow of its own accord. Power does not come from people working for me, but from people allowing me to work through them. You are made to be a channel of the river of grace. That river does not flow through the proud, but through hearts that bow low. When you no longer seek your own name, mine will be exalted through you. When you cease to fear, I will use you to free those bound by fear. When you forgive, you open a road for grace to run through the world. And when you love as I love you, become proof that heaven is not distant, but a reality I am establishing through you. Power is revealed not only in great deeds, but in the smallest moments. When you comfort the sorrowing, you are touching them with the power of mercy. When you intercede for another, you are moving heaven with the power of prayer. When you choose silence instead of an angry reply, you are wielding the power of peace. When you stand firm in trial instead of collapsing, you show the world the strength of faith. Look to Christ. He was never in a hurry, yet everywhere he went, life sprang up. The blind saw, the lame walked, the sinner was forgiven, the fallen found their strength again. This was because he lived in perfect communion with the Father. He said, the Son can do nothing by himself. He does only what he sees the Father doing. In the same way, power will be revealed as you act from union, not mere effort. When you pray not to change my will, but to align your heart with mine, miracles become natural. There are measures of power that come only after stillness, because only in stillness can you hear heaven's rhythm. The Holy Spirit does not work in chaos, but in the order of peace. When your heart is quieted, you will perceive my slightest whisper. When you respond, all the heavens move. I do not need you to shout to make power flow, I need your agreement. When your will harmonizes with mine and your words echo my word, even a small sentence can thunder like lightning. Do not fear my power. It does not come to weigh you down, but to lift you up. It does not drain you, it fills you. When I pour myself into you, you will find yourself doing what once seemed impossible, not because you are strong, but because I live in you. You will speak to the mountain, and it will move. You will lay hands on the sick, and they will be healed. You will walk through storms with a steady heart, for you are no longer acting for me, you are acting with me. Value my presence above the outcomes of power. Outcomes come and go, but my presence remains. Do not let miracles make you forget the miracle worker. When others are healed, remember, I am the source. When your words bring change, remember, I am the breath in those words. When praise comes your way, bow low, for the glory is mine. The more grateful you are, the more you will receive. The lower you bow, the higher I will lift you. Learn this. Well, power is not the prize of the flawless, but the inheritance of the united. You do not need to qualify yourself to be empowered. You need only remain in communion. As you walk with me, power accompanies you like breath. It is not a switch you flip, it is a presence that abides. And when you believe that I am in you, you will begin to see the impossible become possible. My beloved, you were created to carry this power into the world, not to make yourself seen, but to make it known that I am living, loving, and working still. Each time you hold the hand of the hopeless, you link them to heaven's lifeline. Each time you speak encouragement, you breathe life into a weary soul. Each time you walk in love, my kingdom advances a little more. And when this becomes your way of life, you will stop seeking power. You yourself will be the dwelling place of power. As you go deeper into communion, you will realize that true power is not the burst of the miraculous, but the steadiness of peace. The highest power is not what moves mountains or parts of the sea, but the capacity to remain calm within the storm. For when your soul truly rests in me, you understand that you do not need to control circumstances. You need only remain in the presence of the one who rules over them. There you will find an eternal strength, the power of resting in God. The deepest union does not happen when you do many things for me, but when you allow me to live through you. A candle does not shine by itself. It burns only when touched by flame. You do not need to force yourself to radiate. You need only stay close to the fire. When I am the center of every thought, emotion, and action, you will be wrapped in a peace the world cannot comprehend. That peace does not come from the absence of trouble, but from knowing who holds all things. When you abide in me, you begin to live in the current of life. There is no longer a divide between sacred and ordinary, for everything you do becomes worship. Working is worship, loving is worship, forgiving is worship. True communion turns your life into a moving temple where my light shines wherever you are. Others will see me, not merely through your words, but through the way you live, the peace in your eyes, and the gentleness in your touch. The greatest power of heaven is not in thunder or pillars of flame, but in love that does not fail. Every miracle springs from love. Every healing is born of mercy. Every deliverance begins in kindness. When you remain in me, that love will flow through you like a river that never runs dry. It will teach you to see others with my eyes, without judgment, without calculation, only love, as the Father loves you. And in that love, power reaches its fullness. My beloved child, I do not look for the strong, I look for the soft. For my power is made perfect in weakness. When you stop striving to prove yourself, you give me room to act. When you release the need to control you, let me take the wheel. When you choose to rest in my embrace, heaven moves around you without your command. Look at the wind. It does not try to fly, yet the whole world feels its strength. So too, when your soul is blended with mine, you become the current of my spirit, carrying my breath into parched lands. Communion, my child, is not only meeting, it is merging. No longer two, but one. No longer you and I, but I and you and me. Then there is no boundary between your will and mine, for your will has been shaped by my perfection. You will no longer ask, Lord, what is your will, because you will find that my holy desire has become the instinct of your soul. Every choice, every word, every step will echo the rhythm of heaven's decree. And in that unity, the smallest things become sacred, the ordinary becomes miraculous. Remember, peace is not a prize after the battle. It is the atmosphere you were made to live in every day. That peace is my breath in you, the sign that your soul is resting where it belongs. When the world trembles, you will stand firm. When others panic, you will smile. When the enemy roars, you will remain still, knowing I fight for you. This is the authority of peace, not with sword or shout, but with presence and faith. Such peace silences darkness faster than any threat. Let my peace become the central current of your spirit. Do not let anxiety rule nor emotion reign. Let your heart become like still waters reflecting my sky. When your soul is quiet, you will hear my voice clearly. When you stop rushing, you will see that all I do is beautiful in its time. Trust that no moment is wasted, no breath is random, for in each instant I am present and at work. People will see in you what they have forgotten, that there is still a place of peace amid chaos, a light amid the night, a love that never changes. And when they ask your secret, you will simply smile and say, I am in him. That is all. No arguments, no explanations, only that truth: you live in me and I live in you. That alone will testify to the living power of God still moving in the world. Walk, my child, in that oneness. Wear my peace as your robe, my love as your fragrance, my word as your lamp. When you go, I go. When you speak, I speak. When you touch, I touch. And when you love, it is I loving through you. This communion will never end, for it is sealed by the Spirit, a seal that cannot fade, a bond that cannot break, a covenant that cannot be undone. Therefore live as one who has merged with the source. Let power and peace become your daily breath. Do not strive to do for me, simply live in me. From that place the world will be transformed, not by your strength, but by the life that flows through you. That is perfect communion, complete power, unending peace. My beloved child, I want to speak to you about what I have prepared since before time began, the new season of glory. This season is unlike any you have ever known. It carries no scent of trial, waiting, or tears. This is the season of fulfillment, of fruitfulness, of unveiling. Everything that was once sown in silence and watered with tears will now bloom in light. And you will see that none of my words have fallen to the ground. They have taken root in the good soil of your faith and are now bursting forth in their appointed time. The harvest has come, not merely a harvest of possessions or achievements, but of the soul's expansion. Your heart will become like a vast field alive with life, where the seeds I planted years ago are breaking through the earth. Every tear you have shed, every whispered prayer, every step of faithfulness in the night, all are now crystallizing into a glorious harvest. You will see me restore the years that were devoured, revive the opportunities thought long gone, and awaken the dreams you believed had died. They were never dead, only sleeping, awaiting my voice. And now I declare, live again, look around you, for I am doing something new. Every old limitation is being broken, every closed door is opening, every invisible wall is dissolving. I am transforming not only your circumstances, but the very atmosphere around you. The things that once wearied you will now become the foundation upon which you stand strong. The places of failure will become places of triumph. Those who doubted you will witness my glory through your life, and you will know it was not your strength but your abiding in me. This new season is not a reward for effort, it is the fruit of connection. In this season, I do not want you merely to receive blessing. I want you to become the blessing. I am enlarging your sphere of influence not for your praise but for mine. Wherever you step, life will spring up. Wherever you speak, hope will be born. Wherever you pray, I will move. For in this season you will no longer be one who seeks miracles but one who carries them. You will no longer wait for light, for you are the light sent forth. My child, I am placing new keys in your hand, keys of wisdom, of divine utterance, of discernment, of authority, to unlock heaven's realities upon the earth. What was once sealed will now open at your word spoken in my name. You need not seek human approval, for the seal of heaven rests upon your brow. As you walk, angels will accompany you. As you ask, heaven's gates will respond. Even when you are silent, my echo will breathe through you. In this season, everything you touch will be anointed with purpose. Do not be surprised when I lead you out of familiar places, for glory never grows in comfort. I am guiding you into new territory, not to unsettle you, but to expand you. Do not fear the unfamiliar. It is not disruption, it is promotion. Do not cling to what I have already completed. If you hold the old too tightly, you will miss the new. Let me prune you, for I am preparing you to bear more fruit. A branch is not pruned because it is dead, but because it is about to flourish abundantly. This season I want you to live not as one merely surviving, but as one bringing heaven to earth. Every word, every action, every encounter can become a current of glory if you let me lead. Do not view life through the eyes of flesh, but through the vision of the divine. See that all things, even pain, are threads in my perfect design. For the cracks in human vessels are where my light shines brightest. I am writing your next chapter in light. No longer the chapter of trial, but of glory. No longer the sound of lament, but of song. No longer the weight of burden, but the honor of purpose. You will stand where ashes once lay and see my glory cover it. You will walk through the ruins of what was broken and see the flowers of grace bloom. You will realize I never left you. I was waiting for the right season to make everything whole. My beloved, let your heart open like the soil welcoming the first rain. Let your soul be ready to receive the new wind. I do not want you to enter this season with a posture of receiving only, but of giving freely. For in my kingdom, those who give are the ones who overflow. When you give forgiveness, you will receive peace. When you give love, you will be filled. When you give faith, you will see miracles. And when you give yourself, you will see me revealed fully through you. This is the season of glory, not the glory of man, but the glory of God shining through a soul refined by fire, trained in silence, and matured in love and trust. In this season you will not need to speak much, for your very presence will carry my fragrance. You will not need to prove yourself, for the fruit of grace will testify on your behalf. You will no longer look for signs, for you yourself are the sign, living proof that I am still at work in this world, my beloved child. Your season has come, a season of fruitfulness, commissioning, and overflowing glory. The years of silence were never wasted. They were the soil where your faith took root. Now I am bringing into sight what you once believed only in your heart. The seeds of perseverance, prayer, love, and forgiveness that you planted when no one saw are now bursting into bloom. You will see fields of faith standing tall, and you will know that nothing done for me in genuine trust is ever in vain. I am not only giving you a harvest, I am entrusting you with a mission. I do not want you merely to behold the fruit, but to become a sower for the next generation. I do not call you to pause in joy, but to move forward in glory. For true glory is not in receiving, but in giving. You are called to be a carrier of my glory, to bring light where darkness reigns, hope where the ground is barren, truth where desolation has long endured. And as you do, I will expand your influence not through noise, but through the weight of presence. This season, understand that mission and glory cannot be separated. Glory is not for decoration, but illumination. It is not meant to be admired, but to awaken lost souls. I did not place light within you, so it could hide beneath the table, but so it could shine from the hilltop. When you stand firm in the world, your light will testify that God is still working. Each time you choose love over vengeance, forgiveness over bitterness, prayer over complaint, you are making my kingdom visible upon the earth. My child, I am lifting you up, not to make you higher than others, but to position you where I can use you more powerfully. When I place you on the mountain, it is so your light can reach the valley. When I pour grace upon you, it is so you can become a dispenser of grace. When I open your mouth, it is so my words may be proclaimed. When I stretch your arms, it is to embrace the souls I am sending your way. In this season, you are no longer just one who has been restored. You are one who carries restoration to others. I healed you not merely so you could be whole, but so you could become an instrument of healing. Remember, glory never stands still. It always moves. I will lead you into places you never imagined walking. You will enter environments I have prepared long in advance. I will orchestrate encounters with those who need to hear your story. They do not need a sermon, they need a witness. They need to see that real grace redeems, that real love transforms, that real presence breaks chains. And you will be living proof. When you speak, I will speak through you. When you touch, I will touch through you. When you walk, I will walk beside you. Do not fear when I open new territories. They may stretch beyond your reach, but they never escape mine. I am not sending you there to bear the burden alone, but to partner with me. When you feel weak, I will be your strength. When you are uncertain, I will be your wisdom. When you feel alone, I will be your companion. And when you are weary, I will breathe restoration into you. Remember, wherever you go, my angels go before you to prepare the way, and my spirit follows to seal every step. You are never alone in this sending. Learn to live in the flow of heaven, where every action, every word, every decision flows from my leading. Do not follow old patterns, for the new season requires a new rhythm. Do not act by habit, but by my whisper. Do not try to repeat yesterday's miracles. Let me do something new through you. Let me write the next chapter, not with your hand, but with my spirit. For what I am about to do will not resemble what you have seen. It will rise higher, reach deeper, and shine brighter than anything before. I do not merely want you to carry the title called, but to embody the commission sent. You were not saved for safety, but for purpose. You were not forgiven only to rest, but to bring freedom to others. Your freedom is incomplete until you use it to set captives free. Every word you speak, every act you choose, every path you walk can become a river of life when you let me guide you. Beloved, do not underestimate the power of obedience. In this season, every word I speak, no matter how small, carries weight. A single word at the right time can rescue a soul. A humble act can open the gates of grace. A silent prayer can alter the destiny of a family. Do not measure your impact by numbers, but by depth. I do not need you to stir the world. I need you to let heaven touch the world through you. And that will happen when you abide in me. Be ready for divine encounters I have ordained. There will be people you have never met, but whom I have appointed to cross your path. You will encourage, teach, heal, and walk with them in the expansion of my kingdom. I am forming holy connections, meeting points of heaven, where light meets light, revealing my power through unity. For in oneness, glory multiplies. In love, glory magnifies. As you walk in your mission, remember, glory is not a destination. It is a way of life. Carry it like a breath. Shine not from striving, but from being. Live so that those who see you will not praise you, but worship me. Be a mirror reflecting heaven upon the earth. When you do, heaven will no longer seem far away, for it will be seen in you. My beloved child, your long journey through lonely nights, tearful prayers, mornings of hope and trial was never wasted. Every moment, no matter how small, is recorded in the book of life. You may forget, but I have not. You may doubt, but I have not changed my mind. And now, as you stand at the threshold of a new season, I say to you, Every word I have spoken over your life is coming to pass. This season is not merely the reward of your faith, it is the proof of my faithfulness. I want you to look back and see my hand in every chapter. When you thought I was silent, I was teaching you to hear. When you thought I was far, I was drawing you near. When you thought all was lost, I was reshaping you into my image. Now that the mosaic is complete, you will see that even the broken pieces had a place in my glory. Nothing was wasted. No wound was useless. No tears were forgotten. Every fragment became material for the masterpiece your soul refined like pure gold. Now I place upon you the mantle of your calling. It is not a cloak of status but of service, not of fame but of responsibility. You were taught how to weep so you could comfort those who mourn. You were once broken so you could lift the broken. You walked through the night so you could lead others out of darkness. No one can carry light who has never known the dark. No one can heal who has never been wounded. So do not be ashamed of your past. It is the testimony of my work. Every scar upon your soul is a seal of grace, a mark that I was there and still am. As you step into this new chapter, remember, you do not walk alone. I go before you as a pillar of fire guiding you through the night. I go behind you as breath shielding you from the arrows of the enemy. I walk beside you as a faithful friend reminding you that every step carries eternal weight. Know that no path you take escapes my sight, no turn you make lies outside my plan. My purpose does not waver with your mistakes, for my grace runs ahead of your failures. You cannot stray too far for me to reach you, nor fall too deep for me to find you. My beloved child, I have prepared a place for you in everlasting glory, not only after your final breath, but beginning now. For heaven is not merely a destination, it is a reality that you carry within. Each time you love, you touch heaven. Each time you forgive, you open the gates of my kingdom. Each time you obey, my glory shines upon the earth. And when you walk faithfully in your calling, you move between two realms, feet on earth, heart in heaven. This is true glory, not escaping the world, but revealing me through your very life. I know there will still be days when the winds blow hard, but do not fear. The wind does not come to topple you, but to carry you further. Do not grieve when one door closes, for I am opening a greater one ahead. Do not worry if you no longer feel the same intensity you once did. For mature faith does not depend on emotion, but on knowing that I am still here, even when you cannot feel me. Keep walking, for you are in the middle of the journey of glory, not chasing after glory, but letting glory find you. Guard your heart carefully. In the season of glory, trials do not vanish, they simply change form. In the past you were tested through pain. Now you will be tested through honor. Some fall into failure, but others lose themselves in success. So keep your heart soft. Let no praise make you blind, nor applause make you forget the one who gives breath. Bow low always, for glory is complete only when it is returned to me. When you give me glory, I will give you more. When you honor my name, I will establish yours. In this final chapter, I want you not only to see me in miracles, but to know me in companionship. I want you to recognize that I am not only the God who begins, but the God who completes. Everything I started in you, I will finish. Every word I speak, I will fulfill. Every desire you offered, I have remembered. I forget nothing, and I am never late. Even when time passes, my plan remains perfectly on schedule, for I am not bound by human clocks, but by the rhythm of eternity. My beloved, step into the rest of your life not with fear, but with confidence. Do not worry about the future. It is safely held within my hands. Do not mourn the past. It has been redeemed by the blood of my Son. Do not be anxious about the present, for I dwell in it in every breath you take. Live each day as a song of thanksgiving, for every moment lived in me is worship. Love more deeply, believe more boldly, and walk more confidently knowing that my hand still holds yours. This is the eternal covenant between us. I will never leave you nor forget the promise I made to you. Wherever you go, my eyes follow. However weak you become, my grace remains sufficient. Though the world changes, my love will never shift. I have engraved your name upon my palms. No power can snatch you from my hand, for I am the Lord, faithful, unchanging, and true to every word I have spoken. Now arise. The new season has opened, and glory is descending upon you. My light is shining from within you, and the world will see me through your life. Go forth and live as one who is sent. Love as I love, forgive as I forgive, speak as I speak. Carry heaven into every moment, every encounter, every breath. And as you do, heaven will rejoice, for my plan is being fulfilled. And once more I say to you, you are mine, and I am yours. This is the end, yet also the beginning. For in my kingdom there is no full stop, only continuation in glory. So, live, walk, breathe, and worship, for you are now in the season of everlasting glory. Thank you for receiving this message today. Remember to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that together we may continue to receive the living word, build steadfast faith, and walk daily in the boundless love of God. Amen.